Does Finn look kind of badass right there?
Finn does look badass. I love Finn. We got Finn in here, a baby in here, Brianna, of course.
Yeah.
Hey, are we matching shirts?
Oh, we are.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Got all the
I didn't
things.
realize you packed that.
Well, I guess the sponsor of the pod has to be Gas Bowstrings.
Yes, so.
And Victory, you got the hat on. So Victory and Gas Bowstrings, today's sponsor. What do you think about that?
It's perfect.
Yeah.
So-
and Hunter's Choice Archery.
Hunter's Choice Archery as well. So we got 3 guests right now. We got Finn, legend, looks like a collared peccary. We got Peyton, just holding it down, looking very cute. And my guy, friend of the show for a long time, Mr. Taylor.
Yes, sir. Finally made it.
How you doing, pal?
Good. Good. Made it out here. You came up from San Diego.
Yeah.
Made the trip to the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna do a little shooting.
Oh, I can't wait for shooting. So we're going to play the archery games, which I don't think you've played. You've seen the faces, but you haven't played them. Are you looking forward to the games?
As long as I shoot all right. Just sighted the bow in right now, so
Hey,
should be good. At least I have an excuse.
if it fits at chips, that's what I always say.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a quote from Nostradamus, actually, but
I know him.
yeah, I read it.
One of
So,
our guests left already. Our guest left.
yeah, he did. So Brianna and I are sharing a mic. So, but here's the thing, right? I walked in the house and I see this beautiful bison mount. Okay, and it's your first time seeing it, but
Yeah.
the kicker is that we actually filmed the whole hunt for the channel of his bison hunt. It's your first time seeing it. What do you think of the mount?
It is large. It is large. I don't think you ever get a good visual for how large they are in videos, like that moose we saw today at Victory. Just same thing with the bison, just ginormous animals. And he's actually a lot softer, though I'm sure they probably did some cleaning of his
Probably
his
shampooed
coat.
him down a little bit.
Yeah. But he's much softer than I thought. You know, that hair is going to be like real wiry feeling. It's very soft. It's very nice.
Now, here's the thing I want to discuss is I do want to get into the bison hunt.
Okay.
I feel like we need to do that.
It looked like such a tough hunt.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It actually,
strenuous.
I will say it was I will say this. I thought it was going to be easier than it was, to be honest, going into it. But I want to talk about is your arrow setup. Okay? So we're going on a bison hunt. Large animal.
Yep.
Not high fence. This is a free range bison.
Yes.
Okay, why don't you tell me the bow poundage, draw length, arrow weight, and broadhead choice. Go ahead and break it down for me.
So I kept it kind of basic on that whole deal. I didn't like really look into the whole heavy arrow, fixed blade broadhead. I just figured kind of shoot what I always do. And I think I was at 70 pounds, 410 or 20 grains in a Grim Reaper expandable.
On a bison.
A couple of them did
Right.
the trick.
So
That's wild. Yeah. I would never get away with that. I'm like over here got to cater to every type of animal I'm shooting to make sure it'll work, and he just goes out the door with the same old. That's wild.
well, I would do the same thing. But here,
70-pounders.
here's what I think's interesting about that, though, is because for a while, and granted, I think,
You're sweating so bad real quick.
well, it's hot. It's 90 degrees, but
He's
luckily,
nervous.
I am nervous.
He's a little nervous
what's
today.
happening?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just.
You're like pouring sweat.
It's okay. It's cardio.
Did you also wet your hair? Is that also?
I did wet my hair.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I wanted to be sure.
I
looked
kind of
good.
like how he's doing that. He's passing me the mic, but he also gave me
he
one.
has a mic.
I'm
See,
not sure why you're saying
I need to only hold the mic in the left hand and the beverage in the right. But here's the thing that I think is interesting. So I think the novelty of a heavy arrow and a single bevel, I think has faded a little bit from when that was like super popular and looked at as like what you had to do. But at that time when you shot that bison, what was that, 2023?
2023, yeah.
I mean, dude, I feel like that was peak heavy arrow, single bevel time. Did you even think about it at all ahead of time? Like, oh, maybe this is too light because everyone says it's going to bounce off them. Like, was that even a thought that crossed your head?
Well, I mean, everyone kind of said, like, you know, one of those deals where you had to shoot the 600 grain arrow, the 2-blade deal, and I was kind of in the mindset like, whatever I'm comfortable with, you know, it's gonna kill you. You make a good shot, and that's what I kind of rolled with. Didn't want to change anything up really, and I'm fortunate to have a little bit heavier heavier poundage or 70 pounds, a little bit longer draw length. So I could probably get away with a little
what's
more.
your draw length?
So 30. That was 30.
That's lovely. It's nice.
But
that's long.
We got a new test coming because my cousin Chad drew he drew the kind of the same tag, Utah Bison. He's got a 28-inch draw, a little bit less poundage. So we're going to test it out again this year.
Are you going to, so that's a good question. Is he going to run a similar setup or is he going to switch it up and do the single bevel a little heavier?
So his plan right now, I think, is he's going to shoot about the same arrow weight, maybe a little bit heavier, like 440 or something like that. He's going to either shoot the Beast or a Grim Reaper. So
so Brandon McDonald actually had a take that I think is pretty reasonable. He was saying that he thinks it matters less on, I guess, broadhead makeup and more so on cut size. Brandon's thought is that a smaller broadhead, like if you were to say shoot 1.25 inch expandable, it would penetrate a lot better than like a 2.5 inch expandable because there's so much less drag width-wise, which I think kind of makes sense. Well, so if he's going to run
it absolutely does. Like the kinetic energy you're going to lose the second that thing opens up. I mean, you got to think like all of a sudden, boom, 2.5 inches are popping up, like slowing down the arrow. That's more width facing against the air that it's pushing toward, vice 1.25 inches. Like, there's just less. Like, that makes lots of sense.
Less area you're going. And I mean, so the Grim Reapers that I use are the 1 3/8 inch, so they're pretty small, even like when they're deployed, so I guess it's a little bit better than like shooting a real big head or, but again, like the Beast, I mean, that's a pretty big head, but the blades move a little bit, so, or they do that, the blades individually move or something, I think.
It's because they're spring loaded, so like each one can give without like, fully going back in, because we just talked about this on a pod that's not out yet, but when you snap a blade on like a sever or something, and a sever's a good head, but it works off rotation. So if one blade snaps, then the other one goes into the ferrule, and you're not cutting anything. Right. The Beast, you can snap one side clean off, and because it's spring-loaded, the other side will still stay fully deployed.
So it still does the deal.
Exactly. I think that's Grim Reaper's the same way because they deploy backwards, I think. Right? Don't they deploy like...
Yeah. So they fold over the top.
So even if one snapped, they'll still be back.
Yeah, they'll still stay back. And that's what I like about those heads is there's really no... if they deploy, in your quiver or anything, you flip them back over. It's been pretty seamless. Yeah. Me and all my buddies been using those, and they work good. But my cousin's Chad's probably going to use the Beast, I think.
Well, let him have him swing by my place. Maybe I got a little something for him.
Yeah, you got a party favor for him.
I might.
So giving out party favors.
Brandon, why don't you ask a question to our guest of honor here?
Now me and Peyton are just kind of having our own pod. We're just making faces at each other. So it's a separate pod. If you just don't listen to you two talk the whole time and just watch me and Peyton, it's our own whole thing we got going on.
So it's kind of a
we were
dual.
Doing like some tongue action a second ago. She was
That's
big
her new
on
thing. She's learning things every day.
So you're speaking in tongues like a religious thing, or what?
Nah, it's more like baby talk.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then
I'm ready to wiggle.
Well, then I'll hop into it. So Taylor here is maybe the luckiest drawer of tags, possibly of all time.
Except for this year, apparently.
Yes. This year I didn't have so much luck.
But generally, very good. Now, what is the secret? What can the viewers take from this podcast to draw more tags?
You just got to put in. That's it. As many as you can.
You can't win if you don't play, basically.
That's it. Just got to kind of try to throw your name in everywhere. Basically, and do what you can.
What I've come to understand as you and James have your phone calls is try to get the largest credit card possible and max it out every hunting season.
Yep.
And then hope that you don't draw them all so you don't have such a large credit card debt, and hope that maybe you draw one or two.
That's pretty much what I tell Robin. I tell her, I said, don't worry about it. It's all coming back. And if it doesn't,
this month,
it doesn't come back, we got lucky, So
yeah, exactly. It's a win-win.
Look at it.
Yeah.
It is true, though. I mean,
every time James goes to put in.
Bro, I think just...
Use that what?
Yeah, just in New Mexico, I think it was like eight grand or something.
Yeah, that's part of like kind of the deal over there. Really, it's to put in for everything. I think sometimes even more.
Yeah, but I think it's worth it. I mean, as long as you can. Maybe it's not for everybody, but start from the bottom. So like, but
Ted drew though, so that was
Yeah, Tove's going this year. I mean,
correct.
he had to put in.
He only applied for 3 things in New Mexico as well. He applied for deer. Maybe only 2. It might have just been deer and elk. But yeah, just pulled it. Couldn't believe it. And he drew elk in 2020. So it's a testament that, that's part of the benefit of doing the lottery system is only 5 years apart as a non-res. He drew great units.
Yeah, I mean, just as long as you're in and, some decent units or something and maximize trying to, get out there, it's going to be, you're not anymore. It's so hard to draw. You can put in for,
Yeah.
I put in for, I don't even know, I think 6, 7 states maybe, and like this year I got nothing, but.
That's why my main goal is to just keep getting more rich so then I can buy landowner tags.
Which is also good.
Yeah.
Which I would also do.
Yeah.
Yeah, James had he thought like with his clout that's been growing, he'd get some people reaching out, like offering him some stuff and whatnot, and which has happened, but he had one recently reach out and he's like, oh, this is, I'll go, like, guy replies to him. It was a reservation hunt in New Mexico or Arizona?
Arizona.
And James was like, just take a guess, like how much like this discounted price was, because it's not free. I don't know, 20,000. Just knowing that it's a reservation is probably pretty steep. James?
It was like 24 or something. But I mean,
But it's normally
I
like,
did think about it.
Like James, like it's normally like I don't know, somewhere between like maybe an $80,000 or $100,000. I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Who spends that much money? I mean, that's like
A lot of
2
people.
very nice used vehicles.
There's a lot of people that do, though. I mean,
Yeah, what's crazy about that deal is there's people paying it, and I always laugh because people give a lot of crap to someone, going to pay that money to go shoot a bull on the reservation or whatever, and
it's like you would do the same.
I'll do that. If I had that money, I'd be like,
I for sure probably still would.
I'll be going. But
it's just when you think about how much it is, like that's $6,000 less dollars than my whole truck costs.
Yeah.
My vehicle that gets me around day to day costs as much as that one tag does. That one 5-day opportunity, it's not a lifetime of use. It's not up to 200,000 miles. It's 5 days.
Yep.
You better enjoy 5. Like if you crunch that down, divide 24 by 5, like I can't do that math. That's almost 5,000 a day.
And that's the discounted price, But hey, but the people doing that, they got more money than time, so more power to them.
For sure.
Oh my God, did you see the one Jimmy John's just got? Jimmy John's guy just got in Arizona? Holy moly.
Big snicker, huh?
I don't know much about that guy, but
What?
The elk was a big snicker?
Yeah, the elk is. What are you talking about?
The elk, of course, is a big snicker.
Yeah, no, a velvet too. I love a velvet bolt.
Oh yeah. Hey, and like that guy is one of those deals. I mean, I don't know him. He might be a nice guy, might be not a nice guy, but I mean, he's buying those tags, and I think it might be the last year they're even doing it in Arizona, the governor's tags. But he puts that money, and then he has all those outfitters, that
they get employed by it,
Yep.
that are getting paid, and then that
And the
money
state
goes
gets
towards
money.
a good cause. Yep. And when you think about it, like, just think how busy that the dude may be rich as all get out, but how busy his day-to-day life is.
she's out.
Bye, Peyton.
Peyton's gone. She's had
See you
enough.
later.
We have an exit on the podcast right now. We have I pissed her off and she walked off set. It's the first time we've had a guest leave mid-pod. I also got my flip-flop nipped by the dog, so like I'm in all sorts of drama over here. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is like all the money is going into helping the wildlife. Like it's only a good thing. And it's like, I do agree a lot of it stems from jealousy when guys get to hunt like premier stuff every year. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, they put themselves in a position to do it, And it is what it is. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Well, it goes back to that. That's what I was saying is that time factor. Like, you used to, not so much anymore, but used to get a lot of those comments like, must be nice. Like, must be nice to have your own schedule and make your own schedule and have all that time off. Like, sure, but you chose, putting in the time and effort to get to a point where you could do that. It's just all choices, and like that dude probably works day in and day out, and like sometimes you don't, like when you get to that point in life, you don't have the time to go spend a week scouting beforehand and 27 days to sit your tree stand. Like you got one day to fly in and fly out. But if you enjoy hunting that much and you have the money to do it and fly in and fly out, like, hey, the money goes to a good cause, so go for it.
I saw actually one of the things with I thought was pretty cool, and I don't think it was this bull. It was one of the ones that the Jimmy John guy, and again, I don't know him or whatever, but one thing I heard was pretty cool. People were like reposting it, or I saw it on YouTube or something, and it was when they walked up to one of these bulls that he killed, and I knew he got a lot of shit or got a lot of crap for like having so many guides there and whatnot, But like one of the first things he said, or one of the first things they showed, like he rolled up and he picks his bull up, and he said on camera, like, thanks to all these guys, they're the killers, or whatever. They're the real hunters.
I've seen that.
I mean, I gotta.
Which is a pretty
every
strict
video. I gotta thank James.
right?
I don't think I would have gotten in there without the person out in front for 3/4 of the stalk. Maybe sometimes now on a lesser smart.
But that's another whole topic. Like shooting animals, wherever it may be, like whether it's in the desert or any sort of open country, like someone's going after an animal, who you're with is half the deal,
Oh, yeah.
It's not like,
Doing it solo is...
Well, once you get down there, in a lot of places, you're pretty much helpless, unless you got hand signals or radios. We use radios, where it's legal or whatnot. But like, it's one of those things, if you don't have somebody who's reliable, whether on the hill or wherever you're getting hand signals from or whatnot, you're nothing. So
yeah, we've talked about all the times where like things have gone like a little awry because like whoever's glassing loses it or whatnot, and it gets a lot harder. So like if you can use any sort of communication, like James does it. He says he used to, but I friggin' have an earpiece. I'd have an earpiece in and have the person glassing with another one. Like if it's legal, especially if you're just trying to learn, like, if it's legal, if it fits, it ships,
Yeah.
For me, sometimes it's almost too much information nowadays, though.
I think that comes with the level of skill.
I do like information for sure, but like, I have done a few, even in that desert open terrain where there was just me, like solo by myself. And there's something sweeter about when you pull that off. Cause like you said, it's so hard to do. Like this one time it was like an 8-hour day of me trying to bed this buck down. And I did. And it was like super, super hot. And I get out there and like you said, everything looks the same when you're on the ground. And I'm like a mile away from where I glassed from. I could see the truck up there where I hiked from. You know what I mean? And lo and behold, get right to them, pipe them at 24, and like, I don't know. Nowadays, a lot of times when I'll do stalks, I'll have a glasser. And like you said, if it's legal, someone texted me if they're service. But a lot of times I don't really want them to tell me anything unless something changed. Does that make sense?
Well, that's
so if something moves a little, like let me know. But other than that, I prefer to just kind of like have my mind be like free thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see both sides of it. Like I got buddies in Arizona that they will, like, to the death, they won't use anything other than hand signals, and they're really proficient at it. Like they're bad dudes with the hand signals, but like it all depends on, if you don't have somebody with you hunt with every day, radios are going to be the thing. And then at the country too, like if you're down on the desert floor, without radios, I don't care who you are, you can't, there's too much stuff that looks the same,
It's so hard.
Yeah.
But like if you're in the country, like more rolling terrain or hunting some big bulls or basins, you can really like use a landmark and at least have a better shot.
Yeah.
But I learned from those guys in Arizona actually when they started teaching me. This is about spot and stock, whatever it was, 10 or 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And they were the hand signal only guys, and like I'm looking at them like this is impossible.
Dude,
I can hardly even see.
I can't see the hand signals, but I'll say that. So Brianna and I we just did a hunt. We ended up doing some hand signals. I couldn't see. Like, what, with the binoculars, I'd pull them up. But what was interesting is in my head, I'm like, I can't see what she's doing. I can see she's doing something, but like, I can't really like make the details. But it ended up working. Like, her signals, like what I thought she meant, and then I would like make a little adjustment. It ended up being dead on.
It works well for you because it's a much more simplified form of like you can communicate so little amount of information with a hand signal. Like you cannot overcomplicate it with like whether it's radios or whatnot with like more information. It's just as simple as like this way, stop, up or whatever you use for your hand signals. Like you get 1 to 2 words that you could compute out of what you see. Whereas like a radio, someone could go on, and you're like, okay, stop talking.
Yeah, you can get way too much information. That's like one of the things that we learned. Like my buddies that I hunt with now and have for a long time. Like, I mean, over the years, they've had it dialed in. And I just keep kind of learning more and more about how it is. You can definitely say too much stuff, but it's one of those things like it doesn't really change the hunt for me. And I look at it like when we're within a couple 100 yards, and you get a general landmark and you're back in the game, it's like, hey, I'm done.
I'm good. Yeah.
Where it's at. It's time to, hunt and go kill them.
It's totally funny seeing like James and his dad communicate because it's so little, but it's 20 plus years of hunting together in that, type of area and that type of terrain, and that style of hunting that like they just know each other's language and what needs to be said and what doesn't. So it's very interesting when like, say we bring a new person with us or something and James has gotten to the point where he's like, hey, look, you're either going to listen to what I'm going to say or like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And it sounds very rude, but it's very true. Like I would say 9 times out of 10, James is going to get you within 100 yards of the animal. It's up to you if you blow it or not after that. Or if, like me, he just gets tired of taking me. He's like, you're on your own. Go.
Well, no, so basically we just did a hunt and I sent her the last little bit on herself, but it wasn't because I was tired of you. It was because you're
don't know. It was a pretty rough few days prior to
No, I can pull up some texts I got from you and talk about
it. It's because your noise is half. That's why, and I also knew I'd have a good film angle from behind. That's all there is to it.
I'll say that stuff was extremely loud, and just being like a bigger human than me, like it causes more crunch. Like the less noise you can make going in there, the better. And sometimes it is frustrating, like always sending 2 in, just because you're like, I already know this is going to be louder. For James, it's like I already know I need to go slower because she's not near as fast, as tall, as long legs. It's sometimes you want to just go by yourself, like, because you really don't want to blow it. But at the same time, for me on the opposite end, it's like, no, there's way more knowledge here of like, a lot of times now he'll let me go out, not let me, but he'll, I'll walk out in front on my own stock and make my own choices. And if he, once in a while now thinks that's a poor choice, just a little tap on the shoulder, be like, this way more or whatever it is.
But every time you're probably learning, like every mistake you make. And I mean, even with him having someone like that to show you, whoever it may be, like you have James, I've had a bunch of different people, and like noise isn't like the worst thing in the world on a stock, right? I think it's more so timing.
Get me to believe that.
It's timing of it, I think, because there's noise all the time, like out there. It's just really timing more so than anything. Like I think having someone like James or someone more experienced, like than me, I love having someone like, hey, what do you think? What do you think I should do right here? How do you think I should do it? And if you take a route that somebody else recommended, it might have been better than yours. It might have a little more noise.
Yeah, it's not even like because I think a lot of people could look at it like, oh, well, if it doesn't work out, like they told you to do it, like you feel a little better. I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think it's mostly like, I like having that like dialogue. It keeps the sometimes there's some tension when it gets to the end if it doesn't work out, but it keeps the tension almost down a little bit throughout the stalk because like you're not so focused on like what's at the end of it. It's just like you and that person discussing how you're going to get there. Kind of keeps it calmer almost,
Oh, yeah.
in a way to me. And plus, you do learn, like, if he sends me a different route than I would have taken, like, sometimes we're just gonna go straight there. Like, yeah, the wind would be asked, or that Brianna, that's not happening, or, you know. And it's worked out in times that, like, say this last one, the deer did not work out for me, but the stock did. And as many times as we bumped like these javelina and then the deer themselves, I was like, I would have turned around a long time ago. And we were so far away, I would just turn around and walk back. And we're like, we're not getting to these deer. And he just, said, nope, we're going to keep going. We're going to go right here. Blah, blah, blah. There they all are, just bedded up, hanging out. And didn't work out. But
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, you have to be hunting with somebody, that, like, you guys can all bounce information off of or ideas off of. And it's funny, I always laugh, like, the people I think that you got to second guess or be careful about is someone who's not going to listen to you. They're like, oh, that's the only way it works. This is why we're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, at least when I'm hunting, no matter who it is, like, I don't care if they have way more experience than me, way less experience. Like, hey, there's going to be nothing wrong with,
Little Velo.
I'll be laying down with Finn.
New
if I have one of those
sponsor.
things, dude.
New sponsor. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding, not a sponsor. No, I think what you're getting, I mean, I think your bison hunt was a good example because, you had Justin in our group a little bit doing stalks. You had me and you on stalks, or usually it was you and me on stalks, and Justin came on one. But then even the glassers, everyone there was experienced. And I thought it was really fun because me and you got to kind of hunt together the most because, our glassers would stay back and we'd go out and hunt. And it was every time we were asking each other, like you would be like, what do you think here? I'd give my thoughts. What do you think? We'd go back and forth. Everything about the hunt felt like a collaboration as far as ideas. And what I loved about that hunt in particular was how many times I almost feel like it's cheating that we got the bison the first day with how much effort it took. Like, I think that's the part that gets missed when you watch the video is you go, oh, well, they got him the first day, but barely. You know what I mean? Like, dude, how many times did we try? Wasn't that our fourth stalk, me and you?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those deals that were like, I mean, first off, even to get that tag, it's so lucky. There's not going to be that many not that much competition or whatever. So we're like super fortunate in the first place to even be there. But we had gone up a couple weeks before, and we got our ass handed to us for like 3 days driving the country, like not going up there. That place is like kind of the wildlands, and we're driving through it. And I mean, we spent a legit 3 days and didn't see one bison, and yeah, and then like
you guys were seeing herds, like,
well,
Nick
full
was
disclosure,
Ted was seeing them. You guys were seeing them.
everyone told us before we went up there, like, you're just going to try to cover country, get on the roads, glass, it's pretty open, big country. And we did that, and we're like kind of defeated. And like I was just saying, full disclosure, we actually met a dude and his wife. They were scouting for deer and shot him up a little bit. And like, what was it, the next day or something, they drove by and they said they saw some bison down the road quite a ways away from where, just kind of the standard area people hunt them at. And we went down there and we found them. So it was one of those deals where we went back, and obviously the first day driving in, that herd is kind of stayed in there, I guess. Like they were literally right where we last saw them, and got super fortunate. But the other four guys, I mean, they were hunting some of the normal country, I guess, and we ran into them after, and they were having a heck of a time finding them. But
did you ever go back and look at how many people who drew that tag ended up filling it that season?
So I think either all or 4 to 5 did fill, but I know that it was prolonged. It was actually kind of crazy. I had heard some stuff about it borders the Indian reservation up there, and there was something going on to where, I don't know if this is like true or not for sure, but they were saying that the Indians were kind of pushing the herds back into the reservation, which now is kind of a whole thing. Like they're actually blocked, or I think it might be resolved now, but they blocked the access to like the roadless area to go into. You had to cross through the reservation. There was some sort of discrepancy going on. They didn't let them through, but ultimately, I think everyone did do pretty good. It was a cow or a bull tag, so
yeah,
I think somebody shot a couple, or anyways, I think they all did pretty good.
It was it was awesome. I remember we I think it was maybe our second stock. We had glassed. It was a herd of like a whole bunch. It was that time we got winded from like 800 yards.
That was the first one.
Yeah, that was our first one. But the one after that, when we stayed on them glassing, and a few of the bulls had kind of separated from the rest of the herd, and they went out on this big finger and sort of bedded up.
Mm-hmm.
We thought it was a couple. And then you and me like go down this shale hill, come up, and we find them. And I just remember stalking in there, and we couldn't glass up for sure a nice bull. Yeah. But we get in there, and I remember I was right behind you, and we end up seeing one like pretty close behind a tree, and we're like, okay, we're in them. And then somehow they kind of busted, and we followed them quite a ways. So like we're a long ways at this point. And I don't even know. I don't think anyone could see us from our group. No. Even we were out of sight, and dude, we got really close. That's when you drew that one time, and that one just wouldn't stop long enough. I think you drew twice. It's in the video.
Is that the one he draws, lets down, draws again?
Yes.
I think, yeah.
It was one of those. I
was
cool.
That was a nice bull. It might be the same one you shot. I'm not too sure.
I don't think it ended up being the same one, but I mean, that was one of those things, like going back to like the whole lighter arrow, heavy arrow thing, you know, like I think keeping a lighter arrow, you know, made me think twice about making a good shot, you know, not saying like, oh, fuck, or, oh, screw it, you know.
You can say a cuss word if you want, pal. It's all good.
Not saying like, screw it, I'm just going to send one right here, you know, and I was like, oh, well, if this doesn't happen, we'll find them again, you know.
And and then we did, you know. But yeah, that was tough because they came out, and that bull almost gave us enough time and just not quite. And we were like, man, we worked so hard to get right there, and it just didn't quite pan out. I tried to grunt at him, they didn't stop.
Yeah.
Most animals.
I think we spooked him a little. We both spooked him a little bit.
We spooked him a little bit.
That's a funny, when you say, you know, grunting at him. Instead of going back to like hunting with two people, there are times where it's like with two people, especially when both obviously are hunters and experienced hunters, like I've not been ready yet, but James can see that this animal's about to go. And so in his mind, he's just thinking about like, this is it. This is the time to stop the animal and shoot. And I'm nowhere near ready to shoot. And he's already like, and I'm like,
I've tried to get better about that as a filmer, because a lot of times when I'm filming behind somebody, I'm like, this is it. This is the window for the not only the film shot, but the animals in the open. And I've gotten better about when I'm filming, just being like, let the hunter grunt, because maybe their window is ever so slightly different than mine.
It really can be. It doesn't take that much, you know. And then again, like
especially
same
with the
thing.
height difference. Like I'm waiting for this video from this last hunt for the blacktail to come out to see. I have not gone back and watched it yet. And James being, you know, how.
All right, we are officially back. Sorry, we had a little memory card issue. So I deleted our victory podcast, but luckily that one's already uploaded. So we're good there. But
so we were talking about like when you guys grunted at the buffalo, and it's always like a concern going with two people, because with James he can see when he thinks it's gonna, or any hunter could see like, oh, this is it, this is the moment, like grunt. And with us being so different in height, like the window he may see, you'd be amazed at how different that window is for a shorter person. Like it's the difference in completely seeing an animal and completely not seeing it. So like 100%. I'm very interested to see this footage from the blacktail hunt, because James is like, I got like the whole thing zoomed in on film, and I'm interested to see from his height how much of that animal, like it's deceptive almost in the videos, because like people I don't think will see how hard of a shot that was for me.
No, we'll see it. Can they? I can only see his ears and his antlers.
Yeah, I could see like this much of a back, if that, and I could see his rack in the direction he was facing, and that was it. But in lots of windows, like especially on the elk hunt we went on, there are plenty of times like he could have shot, if we had a bull tag, bull after bull after bull. And I don't think I technically had, other than maybe one the day that I messed up on that cow, that I would have had a shot at a bull. Any other one I wouldn't have because I had no window. But him standing right behind me has a window, and he grunts, and like a lot of times once that grunt happens, like that it's use it or lose it moment. Like after that, they're gone. Yeah. And so it's difficult because when you go with multiple hunters, sometimes it can get convoluted in the moment when everybody's mind's like thinking of what they would do at the same time.
Well, different levels too, right? Yeah. Like it depends kind of like the more you're in that situation, you know, like, because really what it comes down to, I think, like there's so many people that can kind of get in that general vicinity of an animal, which usually I say like is within 100 yards, you know, and like there's usually within that 100 yards, there's a period of like a few seconds, you know, like where you're going to have to make a decision, make a shot, and it happens or it doesn't, you know. And like when there's two people on different wavelengths, you know, if someone's more experienced than the other one, like James could be like, oh, I can make that shot right now. Yeah. I have it with Robin, you know, like just on javelina, you know, it's like, hey, you know, kill him, you know, and
oh yeah.
But that's exactly like the point, you know, like, I mean, you might need a little more time.
15 javelina, literally 15 javelina passed by. Yep. And James like, what, that one? That one? That one? Like, until I'm shooting at the very last javelina in the pack because it took me that long to like steady out or whatever the case may be, or get the yardage or something.
Which is totally fun. Yeah, you know, it's just different. Like, I mean, he's proficient, you know, and like, but that's just like the experience or time or whatever, you know, and like, you still got it done.
Yeah,
you know
and the main thing is I would rather someone take their time and, you know, make a shot that's clean and ethical and hits the spot than rush something they're not comfortable with and farm it. And with Brianna, for example, and I'm sure it's similar with Robin, is one thing I've worked with her a lot on, and she's worked on, is in the last 4 years, is just trying to get faster, more efficient, smoother. Like a lot of times she would be super clunky in the zone, and I will say this, you're very, very smooth because
you're like quick draw McGee over there. Like you didn't even see the arrow come out of the quiver, and it's already on the bow.
Yeah.
I'm like,
how did
he get it there that fast?
Well, see, and that's important, right? I'm the same way. Like in that video, you shoot and reload automatic. That's exactly what I do. I do the same thing. Shoot, another arrow ready right away, and I'm clipped up, ready to go. And I love that clip because you can see it. Like you can see your quiver and the arrow pop out. It's all visual. Yeah. So is that something you practice, or have you always just had this mentality that I need to be reloaded ASAP just in case I need a follow-up?
You draw in general?
Well, like everyone that I've ever hunted with, that's been the deal. You know, like you're going to shoot arrows at them till they're down, you know. And honestly, like the way I learned that is, I mean, I can't remember off the top of my head, but like one specific time, but I guarantee you it was a bad experience, you know, to where I either shot one or...
I love when he does that,
it's
dude.
Just out of the blue, it's so random. It's like, your foot is annoying. Move it.
He nips me. I call it the Finn drive-by, dude. I love it. But yeah.
But no, I'm sure I probably shot something, you know, and was like, oh, that was probably when I was younger. You know, I still like, obviously, like I said, learn some every time, but like, I probably shot when I was like, oh, that was badass. I smoked him. And then 6 hours later, I'm like, where'd this critter go? You know? So it's like now I don't even really think about it. We've seen so many times with my buddies, you know, like if you think you smoke, I'm like, hey, we're shooting till it's over, you know?
Always a follow-up.
Finn enjoys anything that he can bite around your foot. So right now it's a flip-flop.
So obviously behind us here you have a bunch of different mounts on the wall. I got a couple muleys, big coos, javelina, tule, bison. You've hunted a fair amount of species. I think you got an antelope as well, blacktail, I believe, Rocky Mountain. So you've shot a lot of pretty decent spread of species so far. Do you have a favorite type of animal to hunt?
I mean, probably elk, you know, just because that's been actually the toughest thing for me is like, I've had some pretty good elk tags. over the years, and I've blown a lot of them, whether it's me shooting bulls I haven't found, part of that learning curve, rushing a shot, or just trying to find something, that's a real nice critter. But I think now it's like, yeah, he's like his mom.
Taylor.
No,
He's so mad over there. He's like, why do I gotta be in the corner?
he wants his bed right here so he can be on.
Yeah. He was doing good for a while, and then James flip-flop annoyed him. Anyways,
Yeah, he was attacking.
Sorry, I'm so distracted.
He was
I left
attacking.
off.
No, anymore elk, just because probably like it's, I mean, as the time goes on, it's going to be the harder animal to kind of get an opportunity to go chase. And like, I don't think, I've never been around anybody that, they might say they don't like elk because they've never done it, but you put them in the woods or wherever with a screaming bull elk, and it's like it changes everything, it's totally different than like deer is glassing some of our favorite thing to do. That's kind of how well, just like you guys, but like something about getting in.
Fun, but it's nothing like I'd never listened to. We just talked about this the other day. You always like watch a YouTube video or whatever it is, and all you ever hear is the bugle from far away, like in the video or whatnot.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It's like 1/8 of the sounds
Yep.
a bull elk makes.
Yep.
They make some of the scariest sounds I've ever heard in my whole life.
Yep.
Like, it sounds like the devil is coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so guttural. It's so, I call it evil sounding. Like, it is just, like, demonic. Like, it's low. It's growling. Like, it is nuts.
I always say it's like Jurassic Park. And, like, I mean, I've only shot a couple bulls, and I've had some, I don't even know, 5 probably really good tags. And I spent a lot of time, hunting them. I think that's, for me, like, probably why it's my favorite, because a lot of this stuff that I've spent so much time trying to get, and elk have been one of the things that, like, just give me hell.
Yeah.
Trying to shoot, a nice one.
Yeah, I don't know
So,
about that, but
Yeah. I do love elk hunting. There's just like, there's something different about it. Also, it's, to your point, it's not something you can really do every year. I mean, sure, you can go do the over-the-counter hunts every year, but when, those good tags where you are going to have the Jurassic Park scenario, it's hard to come by the tags. So when you get one, what an awesome opportunity. I really like hunting them too. I always say mule deer is my favorite. I'd probably still say that, but I do really like elk as well. And lately I've really liked these Coues whitetails a lot as well, as cows deer, fantails.
you just say it like that just to kind of like make some rise.
No, that's actually the like proper way. Cows deer. No, cows deer, general cows.
Coos, just like it's.
But
We'll talk about it later.
we'll talk about it later. So right now we're having these margaritas. These are fantastic, by the way. This is a really good beverage. Also, very fancy cup, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
But also in addition to your hunting, because you've been a very successful hunter, which is really cool, but you also are a good shooter, a very good shooter, and I respect that because I really enjoy target shooting, competition shooting, 3D shooting. I love all that stuff. I even like indoor, right? So I just like shooting a bow. And you're a good shooter. So one thing I always like to ask guys who are really good with a bow is there anything specific you do that's like, okay, as long as I do this in my form, I'll be pretty good? Or if you're in a shooting slump, you say, okay, I need to do A or B, and then I can kind of get locked in again. Do you have any like checkpoints like that are kind of your go-to?
I mean, as far as like checkpoints, not really. I mean, the biggest thing that helped me, I had target panic. Like so many people have it, and so many people like will say, "Oh no, I don't got it," but I'll watch them shoot. You've been developed, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a rough year.
Yeah, I mean, and everyone gets it, I think, at some point, like to an extent. But like, I've watched people shoot, and they'll deny it. They're like, "Oh no, I just let that one go." I'm like, "Well, what does that mean?" So for me, like I had it so bad, I tried all the things. I tried like blank bailing, all the different deals, and I could never really fix it. I'd be shooting at animals, my pin wouldn't even be on them. But like, oh yeah, I had it bad. But I like I guess as far as like one checklist thing, I have one release that have used for like, I mean, since a year after starting. It's like 10 years. One release, just a hinge release, and I use it for everything. I use it for
So this is another hinge
targets.
user here.
Yeah.
So
I shoot it different than.
what is it about a hinge you think that helped with the target panic? Kind of break it down from when you had like your peak target panic to then getting past it. Like obviously the hinge was the key, but kind of walk us through how you found out that a hinge was the key, sort of.
So I kind of have like a different mindset on it, I guess. Like obviously the trigger is the deal that you see everybody. That's the anticipation. So I don't know all the lingo all the guys now use, for that anticipation or whatever it is. Like, but for me, I grabbed a hinge release and I said, I don't want to click on it. Everyone told me to use a click. And they're like, oh, it gives you a safety. I'm like, that's the last thing I want.
Yeah.
I don't want to know at all when it's going to go off. And so what I set it up to where it has no click, and it's on like the faster side from what most people shoot. Like a lot of like target guys will grab it and be like, oh, it's way too fast. But I learned it, I learned how it fires. And if I have that, I mean, I that's where most of my confidence comes from. I know I can hold my pin on there and let it sit and it's going to fire.
So what happens now that you've shot a hinge for 10 years and solved your target panic, it sounds like? What happens when, for example, you grab my release and shoot it now? Does it come right back or not really?
So that's the funniest thing about like that whole thing with like a trigger to a hinge and target panic. I don't think anyone ever fixes it. I think you can like manage it. Once you've had it, I always joke around. I laugh like, you shoot a trigger and, you kind of punch. I just say, hey, they're too dumb to know how easy it is to miss.
Yeah, I love when you say that.
So like, and like, honestly, cut and dry, it might not be because you're dumb, but like archery is a very simple thing.
Yeah.
It's very simple,
Yeah.
right? I mean, what other thing can you teach somebody how to do it, And you say, hey, put the pin on that spot and pull the trigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could teach somebody and have them shoot in a group like this at 40 yards in probably half an hour. Because it's so simple.
Yeah.
But once your brain like kind of gets that, you get that anticipation or whatever that is in your head, it's like you can't do it.
Yeah, I think sometimes the more you watch videos, these like tech videos and how to shoot videos, like the more you work yourself up, honestly, into like, oh, I'm not shooting right. Like, oh, my pin does move too much. Oh, it's like it wobbles. Oh, my left and right's not good. Oh, I'm torquing my bow too much. It's like now you just confused yourself into like thinking too much in the shot process of like, I need to think about this, I need to think about that. Like, no, just put your pin down there. It's gonna move around no matter what, and like shoot your bow.
That's I guess like once you develop like your form or whatever, you have to develop that first. Once you get that, other than that, it's just in your mind. The only thing that changes. But like, I mean, kind of like going back to your question, with a hinge now, that's all I use, right? So if I were to shoot your bow, I could pretty much, I could take and go shoot 5-10 arrows and pretty much guarantee I'm going to hit the spot, But everyone after that, it might be a little bit less than that too. It goes downhill.
Oh, okay.
Once I start to like correlate that again, like
start thinking about
now,
it, like too much.
And yeah, exactly. So like, and so the short answer, no. Like I might be able to take one like and go hunt and shoot something, but like I'm so used to a hinge, And Chris, actually, one of my buddies, he's the one who got me out shooting a hinge when that was all happening, and I was like, this is what I'm going to use. And then our other friend Zach, he's another really good shooter out of Arizona. He shoots actually a pinky release.
Oh yeah,
which is kind of the same thing, It's just but it's just changing in your mind, how you're getting the release to fire. And he's kind of like you, like I mean, when you're shooting against somebody with a trigger, and if they can beat their mind, I think you can't beat them with a hinge.
Yeah, yeah.
If you have a good shooter that punches or whatever you want to call it, like commands the release or whatever, how can you beat them when they're only going to let it go when their pin's on the spot? Right?
Yeah, I hear you. It is interesting, like to make a joke about your line of you're too dumb to miss or to see now. Obviously,
too dumb to know how easy it is to miss.
Too dumb to know how. It's funny because sometimes I'll frustrate like, Brianna or Matt or something. They'll have that problem where their pin gets locked below the target, and they're like, how do I get it? How do I get it up to the target? Like I'm always shooting low, or I'm flinching, shooting high, and my response is always,
So annoying.
just don't do that.
Hey, well,
I say just
that literally proves a point, right? Because if you think about that, you're like, oh, my pin's stuck below the target. Well, if you actually say it to yourself back, why is my pin stuck below the target? Oh, you're holding low. Raise your hand up.
Yeah.
Right? But that's where the whole thing starts.
Yeah.
Because you realize, this is what I have to do, but you just have a mental block and you can't do it. James just can't think hard enough, So he's like,
That's how I'm gonna start saying. It's like, well, you're too dumb to be able to think like this.
You know what, Paige?
I'm on another level.
yes.
You know what Paige told me? She told me that for quite a few years earlier in her competition career, that her pin would get locked below the target. So what she would do is just sight her bow in a little bit high and just shoot low, and then the shot would hit higher.
So you're just good enough to know that, like, oh, that's 6 inches low. Like from down there is about this far low. Or I'm like, that's also, it's still like you're still a genius for being able to know how far to gap and know that it's going to exactly land in the 14 ring every time. Like,
Oh, well,
still
they're
genius, but
yeah, that shooters like that, and I mean, they're just next level.
Oh yeah.
But like
there's
the
a level of
average
talent, like natural talent that, like any sport, like comes with it that you either have or you work towards having. I always say, like, James just has some sort of weird natural ability along with his repeatability from shooting so much that I don't think I was born with that natural sport talent. But they're just like, they're on a whole nother level of like.
Well, that's how Zach is. I can't wait to compete against Zach one time.
No, Zach,
I'm sure he'll probably beat me, it sounds like, but I'm going to give it my best run. So I want to stop by his shop, Hunter's Choice Archery. Yeah, I want to go to Hunter's Choice Archery in Arizona and shoot against him, and that'll be fun.
I'm trying to get James to move.
It is close to Payson, close enough.
It could be a new home shop,
Zach's one of those dudes, like, he's gonna be the person to go to a shoot, and he's not gonna say anything, to anybody. He's very under the radar, like, even in his shop.
Not James.
Yeah. Would you say that he's a little bit outlandish?
Yeah. Just a little bit. Wait till you see the outfit for target season this coming year.
I can't wait to break that bad boy out.
Geez.
Oh my god.
So Zach pretty much will be the opposite of James then.
Yeah.
But I know he's, for real, he's one of those guys like that. I mean, he'll come out and shoot a course and you watch him shoot and it's like, you can't. Yeah. I mean, there's obviously more guys. Like in Arizona, there's a very competitive, like, archery scene, and
just more reasons to move there.
Yeah. But watching guys on that level shoot, there's like, it's different. But to hunt and what like we really care about, I mean, it's not. There's a margin of error, anyone can really do it, especially like with the. I mean, if you put a little bit of time in it, like I haven't been doing.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, I think you have a small excuse.
Yeah. A real small, about 15 pounds, 5 months old.
Excuse, yeah. But look, I mean, even today, your shooting was already really good. We'll see how it goes when we put a couple of them games out there. I can't wait.
But it's not like, I'm not saying anybody's like, you can be average, but like really you can.
Oh, 100%.
As long as you have all of the other stuff, the drive to want to hunt, to stay out there for the days that's needed, to maybe not shower for a certain amount. That's a topic. Maybe
we'll talk about that later because he doesn't shower when he can, which is a problem. So that's my problem with it. Yeah, I totally get it, hunting.
This guy will text me and go, hey, or call me and be like, hey, have you showered? And be like, not in 3 or 4 days. He's like, aren't you staying in a Weekend Warrior? I'm like, yes. Does it have a shower? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to make this normal, what you can do on how you do your Instagram page, you can take a vote.
Oh, yeah. We could
If you ask somebody if they shower, if they can, daily, just once a day, when they're hunting, I guarantee you 99% of people are like, yeah, I'll have a shower.
Well, what's so crazy, too, is like on that elk hunt specifically that there were very few, AK none, taken. I have a shower tent. I have a shower bladder. that was hung above the shower.
Yep.
It has a pump that I have.
Very
That
luxury.
feeds from the gallon or whatever many gallon jug up to the little shower head, hangs in the shower tent. It even has a mat, so you don't gotta stand in the mud. Like, you put your flip flops on.
He still didn't do it, huh?
He still did.
Yeah, see, it's just negligence is all that is. There's no other explanation other than that is negligence.
No, those weren't used.
Well, see, I think
Except
that
for
I
maybe
can
on his butt.
I can smell a little bit more like the wilderness.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that.
If I bake in, I can smell like the wilderness.
No. If we go hunt, I'm bringing a pressure washer.
Oh, I like that. I do
get
like good
concerned.
pressure.
I do get concerned sometimes. Like when he's hunting, I'll check in and be like, "Hey, if you need a couple bucks, I'll Venmo you to go get a hotel, pal."
Yeah, it is
Have a
wild.
shower.
It's astounding how much lack of cleaning goes into manicuring, all the care.
Well, you got to deal with it, not me.
Well, hey, the mullet looks better when it's got a little grease. You know what I mean? Just looks a little nasty.
It's greasy right now. Have you had a shower today?
Today?
Mm-hmm.
No, not today. No.
You'll be having a shower this evening.
Okay. All right. All right.
It's wild. And we have cots now that are like bunk bed style.
I do love it.
But unfortunately, I have to put James on the top because it's too squished. I did see, and I think I will be purchasing them. There are extenders that make it a little taller, so like the person on the bottom bunk's not like right in the other person's ass. But for James and some of the smells that come from him, both cleanliness wise and periodically, dependent on what he's digested for the day.
Riveting.
It's camping in a tent with him is just it's a whole nother level of patience. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh man, you see the amount of patience I have, waiting for me to finally get an animal. I'm like, do you see the amount of patience I have on a daily basis?
Oh, that's torturous. I wouldn't call it patience. I mean, you have to do it, you know? So
It
he's
is.
kind of putting you through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
It's, we're working on it. I will say this new diet, I don't even want to call it a diet. It's just like lifestyle of eating.
Mm-hmm.
We have decided determined really, that vegetables are just not for James. Like if he has a bowl of lettuce, just go put him in another room.
Yeah, I'll be
Lettuce, huh?
stinky
Yeah.
boy, bro. I'll
Yeah.
be stinky.
Yeah, meat really cleans him up nicely. I highly enjoy it.
This is really taking a turn for a different direction, you know what
I
mean?
wasn't expecting this pod to go this way, but hey, it's a conversational pod, so we're learning
let's
about
go back
diet.
to
No,
animals.
and cleanliness.
no, the main thing about this whole thing is tech tip of the day, shower when you hunt.
Yeah.
And
You
well,
know?
and like he's such a big person about scent. Like
Well, he would
he's
spend
such
so
a
many less days
harper.
hunting if he would shower.
Oh my
You
goodness.
know, it's just winded half the time. That's the problem. It's like, oh, it was
fake
30
news.
days.
Fake news.
30 days in a tree stand. It's like, man, it would have taken maybe 4 or 5 if you would shower.
We should do a consensus on that, like over, the period of like every other hunt, like you shower more versus shower less and see if, one takes less days than the other.
Well, I guarantee it does.
Yeah, maybe that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mhm.
So I'm about to go, on a hunt that you, I think, know well. Any advice for me in this time of need?
No, because I need advice myself. I'll be out there too.
Just show up with peace, love,
Are you
positivity, and a good attitude.
Maybe, I don't know. I got to see if I can sneak away for a little bit. But I think above anything, on any of the hunts like that, they're going to be over the counter general hunts.
They're
Whatever
hard.
it may be. It's just going to be time. Like I say all the time, like there's so many people that get discouraged because, and this is one thing I always wanted to talk about, is like people will see a picture on Instagram, and whatever, it's a deer or it's an elk. Say it was, it doesn't matter if it was a private or a general over the counter. They're like, oh man, that's awesome. I want to go do that, right? But 2 days into it, they're like, fuck, this is hard. Why does it look so easy? How do they do it? Poor me, I'm gonna go home or whatever.
Yeah. Or you think about it like, it's like some of these units close the first week Like they fill that fast. And you have to like convince your mind to not think that way negatively. Because like the thought every once in a while crosses the mind of like, I'm planning like how many days like we're gonna be out there for a full time till we have to take off for Ted's hunt. And when you do the math, you're like, probably won't even have that much time to be able to hunt it, like for the unit to be open. And then like you can't let your mind venture down the path of like, well, how do all these people fill this tag so fast in this unit? Like when I'm planning on like needing 15 days, but you just cannot think like that because like it's not any easier for them. They're in the same unit.
Everyone does
the
it
same
different.
Deer and
everyone does it different. They're going to shoot a different, different type of animal, whatever, But it's one of those. I think that
you weren't in the same place that they were at the same time. Like sometimes, like it's not luck per se that gets the animal, but it is luck in the sense of like if you were there at that time in the morning, like were you 5 minutes earlier to get to this water tank or this mountainside or whatever the case may be. Like there is a portion of hunting, I say it's like 80% skill, 20% luck.
See, I would say it's different.
The opposite?
Yeah, because though everything you just said, right? The luck, whatever, you got to be there. You have to be out in the woods or the desert, whatever it is, hunting, right?
And
so
even
like
then, it's still luck. Like you might have just chosen to take the wrong road that day, and more deer were over on this hillside than this hillside. Like so much of it, even if you're being there, it's still luck. Like,
well, skill can get you so far. It can get you close to an animal, but they have a mind too. So like if things aren't in the cards, and they decide to do something, they zig, you zag.
Yeah.
That's where luck doesn't go your way.
Yeah.
And they could also be like, hey, I'm 100 yards. I'm 200 yards. Shit, I can't get closer. I'm going to sit tight right here. And luck goes your way. He's going to get up and he's going to feed to you.
Yeah.
So like
or luck doesn't, and he gets up and we've seen it feeds the other way. And it's like,
exactly. Or you're driving down the road and you see one off the road, you jump out and shoot him. What's the difference? Who's the judge and say, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
I know a lot of guys. I don't know one of them that wouldn't do it. So like and we've done that.
Opportunity comes your way to do what's legal to fill your tag. Like at the end of the day, if there is a deer that now some people my standards are pretty low. Some people might have a little higher standards for what they're looking for, but like. At the end of the day, if it's close enough to your standards or you're far enough along in your hunt that you're like 10 days in and you're reaching your last few days, like not a single person could say it didn't cross their mind to jump out of that truck if the deer stands there broadside.
Where it's legal, whoever's doing the shooting, as long as they're cool with it, like I said, if it's legal, let it ride.
Yep.
Who cares? There's nobody to say like, obviously, I like to spot and stalk animals. I've shot stuff off the road. I've shot stuff over water, but I have a lot of hunts where I won't sit water on purpose because I don't want to do it that way. But like James, look how successful he's been doing that. So it all depends kind of what you want to get out of it. Like if someone has the patience like James, great, go do it. But you have to be, if you don't do that, you got to be okay with going home with nothing. But so many people don't want to, like I said earlier, I've had some really good elk tags and I've gone home with nothing. I'm sure I could have shot one on the water, but I want to do it a certain way. And so, but it's whoever's
short. I've gotten over that. I got over that in the elk hunt. I wouldn't say quickly learned because we were out there pretty much almost the full time, but I'm going to, I'll assess it over the first few days. And like, if it's just not in my cards in that area, like where the blacktail hunt is, there's just so much of that's not huntable for me because it's too tall.
Yeah.
That I've quickly gotten over. It is fun to spot and stalk. And in Arizona, a lot of places I can. But if I'm in an area that I'm already seeing, like, this ain't going to be doable. Like, I might get close. And I've gotten pretty darn good at my stalking skills and getting close and being quiet and playing the wind. But, like, the opportunity that's there for the person behind me who's not hunting is not there for me because I can't see through the brush. So I'm just like, if if that means sit in water or sit in tanks or sit in a tree stand on a trail that we found, I am all down for it now at this point because it's
100%.
whatever's gonna work, especially like dependent on who has the tag. Like what I say, it's slightly different story if James also still had his tag and so we were both hunting. Sure, yeah, I'd get on the ground some days. So like, he out if that's the way he wants to hunt, we can do that. But he doesn't. And so it's like he said it a couple times and it's like, you really seem set on that. I'm like, yeah, we've been there. We've seen what it looks like. Like, it was extremely difficult to see an elk. How difficult do you think it is to see a deer on the ground? That deer's half the size or more. So I'm pretty set having seen it, knowing, like, I'm going to have to commit myself to a blind or a tree stand.
Which, I mean, that's a whole different, like, that's a whole different mental game,
a
like.
whole level of patience.
I'm the first one to say it, like, I don't have trouble sitting, you know what I mean? Like I have trouble sitting in there that long. I'm like, if I sit in a blind, I think like, oh man, there's a bull or there's a deer somewhere, laying down. I can go chase them.
Like when you can hear them, so they're within like 700 yards. I could just get out and go walk that 700 yards.
Yeah, but the water's a more for sure. It's a controlled scenario, for somebody who's just like getting into that. Not more like a more controlled scenario to where you can make your decisions, and have more time to do it and more
that's
cover.
Been building over the last year. I said I need a reset, and a blind or a tree stand is going to be my way of helping me get a reset.
Which is the first thing to accept it and let it ride. I mean, I'm sure if you get the opportunity,
I'll still be jacked up and probably pop the blind at least once, cut it with my broadhead, and hopefully not cut my finger. Hopefully be able to draw the bow. Hopefully be able to see the deer. There's a whole slew of things.
When you stop doing that, stop hunting.
Yeah, for sure. My mentality with hunting has always been, it's just always been my mindset is, I'm like you, my favorite is hunting on the ground. Spot and stock's my favorite. But I've always had the mindset that whatever it takes for me to be successful on that hunt in that location in that year, I'm going to do it. So like sometimes that might be in my head, I think, sitting a tree for way too long or sitting a blind for way too long or glassing for way too long, whatever it is. Like I always have had the mindset that I'm going to do just whatever option, even though my preferred is spot and stock. And with deer, I've shot 90% of them spot and stock, but the other 10, I don't have a problem jumping in a blind or something if I think that's what the best option is. And I think I've always thought the more well-rounded and comfortable you can be hunting in different styles, the more successful you're going to be overall. So like one of the things on my list lately has been to learn and become more proficient hunting out of a saddle so I can hike around with the whole gear in my pack. And then if I find, let's just say I'm hunting a group of elk and I kind of bed them down during the day and I get, I don't know, let's just say 300 yards from the group, rather than go back to camp and take a nap or something. I can just saddle up in a tree on a trail nearby, wait it out and see, so there's different options I want to add, but that's always kind of been my mentality, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it also, I think like is also what somebody, like obviously the generic definition of like success on a hunt is going to be like, oh, I shot one, but like, going back to, I've said like 3 times, like my elk hunts, I've had really good tags and haven't shot elk, but I have so many experiences in there, that I learned from, on the ground with them over how many, double digit days, whatever on a hunt. And I've learned so much stuff. I'm like, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
So it all really depends like who it's for, like what you're getting out of it,
Yep.
I think some of the problem that people have nowadays is like they want that Instagram picture, they want that Facebook picture, and it's different for everybody. I mean, like for you, it's the total opposite, right? Because you're going to be the person that you want a picture for your page and whatever for all your followers, for the sponsors and all that, but you're going to do whatever it takes to get that picture,
Yeah.
Where a lot of times like people, they care so much about that picture. Once they realize how hard it is, they're like, fuck it. I'm not doing it.
And the thing is, I've always been like that regardless. Even before I was doing content or videos, that's just always my mindset. Ever since I was a young kid hunting with my dad, bow hunting, I always had that mindset of like, I got to come home with the tag punch. I have to. It's like a destiny thing. It's always how I looked at it, and I still do. It really, like, my mindset hasn't changed because of what we're doing now. In fact, I try to encourage guys who do content hunting that even if you go on a hunt and you film a lot of really good stuff, but you don't get anything, I'm like, dude, still post it. Like, make a good story of the hunt. We try to do that, when we don't feel something, but most importantly, I just love hunting, and I've met so many good people through hunting and archery. Taylor's one of them, and many others that I didn't know prior to hunting, and Brianna as well. So it's just an awesome hobby and a lifestyle, and I really love that. And then doing the tournaments is a blast, and we don't get to compete enough. Me and you have only competed a couple of times, but today, hey, new face-off, baby. So I appreciate you coming on.
For sure.
You did a great job. It's like pulling teeth getting this guy to come on, but we finally did. Yeah. So anyway, shoot him follow. Taylor_hockey will not approve. He will not approve your follow request, but go ahead and try.
I will not.
And and yeah, that's it. So appreciate you guys watching. 5 stars, Apple, Spotify. Subscribe to the podcast channel, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.